You think you know how the world began? Think again. Before there was earth or sky, immortals battled in the shadows. The Titans, the Olympians, the first gods of chaos and order. Their war was not fought with swords, but with the very bones of reality. Losing meant your soul became thunder, stone, or silence itself. What if the rules that bind our every moment are just remnants of their defeat? In the next minutes, you will witness the first scream that shattered nothingness, the final cry that became the Big Bang, and see the price paid for the world we know. At the origin of all things, conflict was not an accident, it was the first act of creation. In the beginning, myth remembers only emptiness, a void without boundary, without time, without breath. Greek tradition names it chaos, a formless expanse where nothing yet dared to exist. From this blankness, ancient forces emerged. Chaos was not alone for long. Gaia, the deep-breasted earth, took shape as the ground beneath all futures. Tartarus, the shadowed pit, opened beneath her. Eros, the spark of desire, flickered between them, and soon Nyx, the night, and Erebus, darkness itself, joined the gathering. Each was a presence, nameless at first, then given shape and hunger by the need to endure. But the peace of the void is always temporary. The very act of emerging sows the seeds of rivalry. Chaos stirs, eager to unravel what little form exists. Gaia, heavy with promise, presses for substance, a world with valleys and sky, a place to hold memory. Tartarus waits below, swallowing what falls. Eros pulls and binds, coaxing union and division in turn. The tension between these forces is not gentle. It is a silent pressure, a storm building beneath a surface that cannot hold. In this early darkness, ambition is the only law. The first struggle is not fought with swords, but with essence. Chaos lashes out, twisting the fabric of nothingness, while Gaia roots herself, drawing boundaries where there were none. Eros fans the flames, demanding creation and destruction in equal measure. In Greek myth, these primordial clashes bleed into the Titans, towering beings who inherit both the power and the wounds of the first war. Gaia, unwilling to let her children be swallowed by chaos or Tartarus, aids them by birthing monsters, creatures of earth and fury, to shift the balance. This is not just a story of beginnings, but of sides chosen and debts owed. Other traditions echo the same pattern. In the Norse world, the yawning gap of Ginnungagap lies between realms of fire and ice. Their collision births Ymir, the first giant, whose body will become the world. Marduk tears Tiamat's chaos body apart, forging the sky and sea from her remains. In Egypt, Nun's endless waters churn until Atum rises, splitting the void by creating Shu and Tefnut, order ripped from the flood. Each myth paints the first conflict as a wound torn in oblivion, a wound that bleeds mountains, rivers, stars, and the very heartbeat of time. These battles are not measured in victories, but in what remains. Every clash leaves scars, matter twisted into stone, light torn into stars, the first rivers roaring with the memory of pain. The Greek Titanomachy, the war between the Titans and the Olympians, erupts from these old rivalries. For 10 years, Zeus and his siblings fight against Cronus and the old gods, wielding thunder, trident, fate, reshaping the cosmos with every blow. The world as we know it is built on the ruins of their struggle. When a primordial finally falls, time cracks open. The endless present shatters, and the first moment becomes real. The final scream that echoes still. The spark we now call the Big Bang. The survivors, gods and monsters alike, are marked by what they have witnessed and done. their power forever shaped by loss. Yet this is only the beginning. If the world is made from broken gods, what happens when a new generation rises to claim their place? In every myth, the struggle for power is never settled for long. Divine rivalries erupt as soon as there is something to lose. From the primal clash of chaos and Gaia, the world is left raw and unsettled. Into this landscape step the Titans, ancient and immense, led by Cronus. He rules in fear, haunted by the prophecy that one of his own children will overthrow him. Cronus's answer is brutal. He devours each newborn, swallowing hope and future in a single act. But prophecy is patient. Rhea, desperate to save her youngest, hides Zeus away, and the cycle of betrayal continues. When Zeus comes of age, the war to shape existence begins in earnest. According to Hesiod's theogony, Zeus enlists the 100-handed ones, giants with impossible strength, and the Cyclopes who forge thunder and lightning to stand against Cronus. The Titanomachy, a 10-year war, rages across the cosmos. Thunderbolts split the sky, Poseidon's trident churns the sea, mountains shatter, the earth cracks open under Hades' realm. Ares, god of war, stands beside Zeus, his loyalty and violence echoing through every battlefield. The world itself becomes the battlefield. Every river, every stone, every night sky bears the scars. Victory does not come easily. The Olympians, with cunning and alliances, finally force Cronus to yield. The defeated Titans are not simply erased. Some, like Atlas, are sentenced to bear the sky forever. Others are cast into Tartarus, deep beyond hope. The world is divided. Zeus claims the sky, Poseidon the sea, Hades the underworld. The Olympians build their thrones atop the ruins of what came before. But the wounds of war linger, yet the cycle of rivalry refuses to end. Gaia, furious at the fate of her Titan children, births the giants. The Gigantomachy follows, a second war just as fierce. The giants, monstrous and relentless, storm Olympus. Zeus calls his siblings and even mortal Heracles to fight. Athena and Ares clash with the giants, each victory paid for in broken mountains and rivers of flame. Heracles brings down Alcyoneus, proving mortals can wound even giants. The Olympians prevail again, but not without cost. The world is reshaped with every blow. Mountains from fallen bodies, rivers from wounds. The defeated are never gone. Atlas still lifts the sky. Prometheus, who defied Zeus to gift fire, is chained to stone for eternity, his agony part of every storm. Loki's betrayal tears at the north. Baldur's death cracks Asgard's hope. Set and Osiris battle under Egyptian sun and Nile. The old rivalries thread through every pantheon, raw chaos fighting to break order, order fighting to chain chaos. Mortals inherit a world built on struggle, where every river, every mountain, every law of nature is a scar of mythic war. Creation always demands a price. Every act of rebellion leaves a mark that time cannot erase. The cost of creation, echoes of sacrifice and defiance, runs through every myth, shaping the world as much as any victory. Long after the wars of gods, the universe bears the weight of bargains struck in shadow and pain. Prometheus, the Titan of foresight, stands as the clearest symbol of this truth. He watched humanity shiver in darkness, fragile and forgotten by the new gods. Moved by their suffering, Prometheus defied Zeus and stole fire, a spark of rebellion and survival. Zeus's justice was swift. Prometheus was chained to the cliff, his liver torn each day by an eagle, the wound growing anew. This is not just torment. It is a lesson. Creation and progress always cut both ways. A gift paid for in agony. The pattern repeats. Loki's clever treachery brings the death of Baldur, unravels the fragile threads of peace, and plants the seeds for Ragnarok. For this he is bound with his son's entrails, serpent venom dripping on his face forever. Here, rebellion seeds destruction, but it also shapes rebirth. Winter follows summer. Spring follows winter. Outcasts become tricksters. Tricksters become forces that unmake old orders. Demeter's grief for Persephone starves the earth. Every winter mortals remember the loss. Every spring they beg for the thaw. Osiris is torn apart by Set, reassembled by Isis, and reborn. His broken body becomes the pulse of the Nile. Seasons turn. Rivers flood and retreat. Life, death, and rebirth are the rhythm of sacrifice written on earth. In these stories, mortals inherit the wounds and gifts left behind. Fire flickers in cold hands. Harvest follows famine. Every heartbeat is an echo of an ancient cry, the final scream that shattered the void and still trembles inside every law of reality. Creation is not gentle. The universe thrums with the force of old sorrow, a battlefield marked by scars, not a garden untouched. Every law you trust, every star you see, began as a wound torn open when gods bled their power into the void. This cosmos is not peace. It is the cost of chaos chained to order. Prometheus's stolen fire, Tiamat's split body, the Titan's fall, all remind us that every sunrise is bought with shadows. So next time you lift your eyes to the night sky, see it for what it is, the restless bones of a feud that never ended. And as you breathe, remember, your heartbeat is one more echo of that first divine scream. And if these echoes moved you, keep the legends alive. Subscribe, share your voice below, and stay with us here in Lore and Legends.